Are you afraid to take risks? Are you afraid to try something new? Are you afraid to let love into your life because you're afraid the past is going to repeat itself? But the thing is, we have to learn from our mistakes. And guess what? You know exactly what not to do. So it's time to do the opposite of what you've known. Because in doing that, you can actually succeed. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is it. We keep fearing trying the new thing. We fear letting love in. We fear taking a risk in our career because we're just afraid. We're afraid we're going to fail. Certain things may have happened in the past that make us too scared to try again. Too scared because we don't want to get hurt. And this is what happens. We have been hurt so many times. And it doesn't mean just relationships. What we perceived as failure has led us to fear breaking down our walls again so that we won't get hurt. We put barriers up in order not to feel that pain again. We think if we remain as we are in our comfort zone, that, there's nothing can go wrong. But isn't it boring in your comfort zone? You know what I mean? Like we get so fixated in or stuck in our comfort zone, and it even gets harder and harder to jump out of that. It's harder and harder to take those risks. But life is to be experienced. You know what I mean? Like life is about taking risks. What did I hear yesterday? Life is a gamble. Don't you want to start winning or something like along those lines? You know what I mean? Like, why not take that risk? Why not take that gamble? Because, it's better to have experienced something than not to experienced it. But where we get this fear, after so much we've been through, we've lost so many people, we've had to walk away from a lot of dynamics, we might have had to change jobs or, and all of this can trigger in this feeling of rejection. This feeling that we're not good enough, or this feeling that we're continuously going to make more and more mistakes. So we don't even try. We keep saying to ourselves, why do I keep getting it wrong? You keep getting it wrong because they don't change. And that's it. Like we keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over and over again because we're not changing it. We think, oh my God, I keep fucking up. Why do I keep failing? Because you keep doing things the same way. Nothing can change unless you change it. And that's a fact. Like, if we don't change our ways, if we don't learn from those mistakes, and they're mistakes, mustakes, mistakes. We must make these mistakes in order to learn. And we keep saying, oh, I got it so wrong in the past. But that's not true. And I was saying this to myself this morning, let's do it right this time because we did it wrong in the past. But we didn't actually do it wrong in the past. Everything we've ever done has been a part of our divine plan, has been something that we've had to do in order to learn, in order to grow. The only way a mistake is still a mistake is if you don't correct it. And that's it. If you keep repeating the same mistake over and over again, I think, oh, sorry, but that's bordering on complete insanity there, you know what I mean, or complete stupidity. And I'm sorry, I know I've done it myself, so I'm not judging anyone. I know what it's like to be in that cycle. I know what it's like to keep going around in that circle of, that pain. Oh my God. Like I lived in that conditioned mentality. Same shit every single day. Repeating the same cycles every single day. Wondering why my life was so miserable and wondering why things kept going wrong because I wasn't correcting my mistakes. And this is it. We fear that we don't have the knowledge, the capability to do the thing right. So we fear starting our own business because we might have failed at trying something in the past. But it wasn't the right time for that thing in the past. So if any kind of creative endeavor that you might have tried before that didn't work out, it didn't work out because it wasn't the right time. And I said this before, say for example, I tried to write a poetry book before I knew I was a twin flame. I have a book of twin flame poems that I published. It wouldn't have worked. That book could not have possibly been published before I had the knowledge to publish it. So, there was, and even when I did try to publish it earlier, it just didn't work out. I kept hitting walls. I kept, thinking, is this even for me? Am I supposed to do this? And, I could have perceived that as failure. I could have said, I'm not going to try again. But I learned from what I did, well, I don't like saying I did wrong. I learned from what I did back then, and I tweaked it, and I ended up getting a better result because I did the opposite of what I did before. So I might have failed, a perceived failure, to have published it earlier, but I actually ended up publishing it better, if you get me. So it's the same when it comes to any kind of relationships as well. We're afraid that we're going to repeat the past. We're afraid that we're going to attract another narcissist. We're afraid that we're going to get abused again. We're afraid that we're going to get controlled again. We're afraid that we're going to lose ourselves again. But if you actually look back on what you did do, how unhealed you were, heal your shit, do the opposite of what you've ever done, remain in your independence and be aware so as not to lose yourself, or even, and then even so, if you're so self-aware, you cannot attract, and if you're so healed, you cannot attract the same kind of assholes you attracted before. It's just not possible. It isn't, because you're not the same person you were back then. You completely transformed into a high vibrational best version of yourself. So you cannot repeat the fact that you attracted the wrong person. And because you're so self-aware now, you can't make the same mistakes you did. Or you cannot be manipulated or controlled like you were before, because you're not unhealed anymore. So, when we say I'm afraid of the past repeating itself, it's just not fucking possible. It's not. Because are you the same person you were 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? You're not. So how could you possibly repeat the same mistakes or attract the same kind of people? And how could you possibly have the same kind of relationship as your unhealed self? It's not actually possible. And if you keep saying to yourself, I keep fucking up, I keep making mistakes, I keep doing things wrong, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you fucking do. Because you can literally, this is what's so important about awareness and introspection. Anything in our lives, whether it's relationship or otherwise, if things keep going wrong, pause in between. Ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? How is this making me feel? What can I do differently moving forward? And if you actually paint a picture of what you did wrong, apparently, you can literally flip the switch and do the exact fucking opposite of what you did. But what we normally do is we do something wrong. I hate saying wrong. We do the thing that didn't work out the way we wanted it. And we reprimand ourselves. We punish ourselves and we are like, oh my God, I'm such a fuck up. And then you just don't try again. Or you do try again and you do the same thing you already did and you fuck up again. And then you keep asking yourself, why do I keep fucking up? Because you keep doing the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean? So literally, and instead of pausing to introspect, we rush forward and try and do it again the same fucking way. And it doesn't work. And then we get confused. So it's literally take that minute and ask yourself, what do I know now? I know what not to fucking do. So let's do the fucking opposite. And that's all we really need to do. We have a guidance system already within us. You know exactly what not to do. So why are you still doing what you shouldn't be doing? This is where we learn and grow. Do the opposite of what you've always done. If the thing isn't working out, ask yourself those questions. What can I do to change this? What can I do differently? And you just flip the switch. It is actually that simple. And I know when we're in this mindset of failure, fear, we don't have that self-trust. And we blame ourselves over and over again for making these mistakes or doing the thing that didn't work out. And it's like, instead of introspection and awareness, we just get angry with ourselves. And then because we're in this kind of frustrated energy, we end up doing the same thing repeated over and over again. And we're not getting a different result because it's just not going to work that way. So what can you do right now? You can change your life instantly if you just do the opposite. And it is really that simple. It's so simple. And this is another thing, like we put up these barriers, you know, there's these walls of protection. And we think that that's going to keep us safe. But it's not. You know, let's do the opposite of that. You know, how can you let love or abundance into your life if you're constantly protecting? Or it's not even protection. We think we're protecting ourselves. No, we're actually preventing ourselves from abundance, from love, from opportunities, from experiences. Because we think that if we're just in this mentality of, if I hide behind this wall, the past can't repeat itself. But the past is going to continue to repeat itself unless you heal your shit. And it's that simple. It's literally that simple. And it all just boils down to introspection and self-awareness. And like, you know, as I said, we can look back and we can say, well, this is it. Like, you know, when it comes to what we know what we don't want as well. That's another one that we have in our toolbox. We know exactly what we don't want. So in knowing that, we know exactly what we don't want, we know exactly what not to do. So write that list down of the shit that you've done that didn't work. Then write on the other side the opposite of that thing. And then the thing is going to work. You know, that it's literally flipping things over. Changing your behavior in order to change the outcome. Because things will never change unless you change them. I keep repeating this, like, this is the theme lately. It's like, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. And, you know, Einstein says that, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's true. You keep doing the same stuff and then you ask yourself, why does everything keep going wrong? Because you keep doing everything the same way. Stop doing things the way you've done them if it's not working. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, and that back to that thing as well. Like, you know, you keep failing in your eyes, you're failing. And then you keep reprimanding yourself. And then you go and do it again. And then you blame the whole world for your failures because you're like, oh, why is everything going wrong? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? It's like, no. Why did you repeat the cycle? Why are you once again doing the thing you're not supposed to do? You know, how do we expect to get success if we don't actually learn from our mistakes? And I said it already. Like, you cannot, a mistake is only a mistake if you don't correct it. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? And you keep questioning, like, oh, why is this going around in circles? Because you're not correcting your behavior. You're not correcting those mistakes. You're not flipping the switch and doing the opposite. Oh, you know what I mean? It's just that simple. It's like, I love, like, you know, there's a quote as well, like, we have to learn how to do something wrong before we can actually learn how to do it right. Like, so, you know, there's knowledge gained even if you do something wrong, but only if you become aware of that knowledge. You know, if you're not introspecting, if you're not becoming self-aware, if you're not taking an inventory of your life, you're going to continue to do things wrong. How is that possible? And I know I've done it myself. I know when we're in this bubble of that conditioned energy, that it's just, we don't realize how much control we really have over our lives. We don't. We really don't. And we blame external influences. We blame the whole world. We blame this. We blame that. We blame being busy. We blame other people. All of this kind of stuff. And in actual fact, it just boils down to you. You have the control board, the switchboard, the fucking circuit board, whatever you want to call it, of your life. You get to make these moves, you know? I have the image of in Men in Black, the little alien in the head, you know, controlling everything. But anyway, that's exactly what we have. We have we are that alien of our lives in a sense, where we're able to do these things. But if we keep, like, it's, I just have an image of a robot keep walking into the same wall over and over again. I'm not getting anywhere. That's exactly what we're doing when we're not learning. It's like just going forwards all the time and not turning to go away from the wall. Sorry, I got such weird images in my head. But yeah, this is effectively what we're doing. We're hitting our head off this fucking brick wall instead of taking a step back and seeing there's a fucking doorway. Do you know, that kind of way? And that's exactly what it is. So this is what you need to do, is like turn your fucking dial, go this way, do the opposite, turn around, like, you know what I mean? So this is what we have to do. Ask yourself those questions. Once again, I'll say it. Ask yourself those questions. Become self-aware. You know what I mean? If you want the high vibrational relationship that you deserve, then look back on your old relationships, see how unhealed you were, see how strong you are now, see how self-aware you are now. Go into it in an independent energy rather than a codependent energy, and make sure you do the opposite of what you've ever done. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? If it didn't work out in the past, do the opposite of what you did. If there's certain things going wrong in your life now, ask yourself what you can do to change. Do the opposite of what you did. And I keep repeating it. Do the opposite. Like, if you're doing things that are, like, you know, that are out of alignment with your soul, if you're making the wrong things a priority, do the opposite. Make the right things a priority. You know, if you're too busy, say you're not busy. And then find the time for the right things in your life, the important things in your life. You know, and being afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, it can't happen. Because you're not that same person. It's actually fucking impossible. It really is impossible. Because you're not the same person who went into those toxic relationships. You're a healed warrior, survivor version, best version of yourself, not that unhealed version. So you cannot attract the same people, and you cannot attract the same energy unless you do what you did back then and go into it in a codependent energy, unhealed. If you're constantly hurting somebody or, you know, doing things wrong in your life, how can you flip the switch there? Do the opposite of what you've been doing. If you're not making enough effort in certain ways, flip the switch. Do the opposite. And put the effort in. It's that simple. Instead of questioning over and over again, why am I getting this wrong? Why am I failing? I can't get this right. I don't have the ability to do this right. Yes, you fucking do. Because you have all the answers right there. Because you fucking did it wrong. Now flip it. Do the opposite. I'm going to repeat that over and over again. Do the fucking opposite. If things are not working out for you, do the fucking opposite. You actually have the knowledge to do the thing right, because you know exactly what not to do. And it really is that simple. So it's time to flip that switch. Do some introspection. Take that awareness to what you are doing wrong or what you're doing that's not working out. And then do the opposite. It's like, I nearly write a song about that. Do the opposite, do the opposite. Yeah, it might not work. Anyway, but literally, do the opposite. You have all the knowledge and all the tools on what not to do. So do the opposite. You're probably gonna feel like you get sick of me saying this right now. But literally, you know everything you need to do to succeed. Because you've done it. You've done it the other way around. So if you're afraid of failure, look at your past and don't repeat it. And it's that simple. You have the choice to keep going around in these circles and doing the wrong thing over and over again. Or you have the choice to flip the switch and do the opposite. So yeah, simple as that. You actually do have all the tools you need right now to succeed in relationship, in career, in your purpose, in every aspect of your life. If you're afraid of failure because you failed in the past, do the opposite. You're going to be sick of me saying that. But literally, that's it. We know everything we need to know. We know exactly what not to do. So you can't fail once you don't do what you were always doing. You know, and don't be so hard on yourself. You have all the capabilities of doing it right. If you do the opposite. I'm even getting sick of listening to that now. Ooh. Anyway, but seriously, you have that capability. You really do. You have all the knowledge you need to get things right. And you cannot repeat the past because you are not that person anymore. You are a healed, high vibrational version of yourself. So you can only attract high vibrational energy once you don't keep repeating the mistakes that you've made in the past. Learn from your mistakes, change it around, and stop walking into that wall. Take a step back, return, and exactly, you will go in the right direction. It is really that simple. So take that time to ask yourself, like if things are going wrong, just take that moment to check what you can do opposite. Literally, just flip it around. That's what you can do. And that's where self-awareness and introspection is so important. Take an inventory of what you've done and do the opposite. Okay, I'm done now. Okay, so thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.